Hello everyone, this is Stella, and if you're planning any travel in 2026, grab your carry-on bag right now, because what I'm about to tell you could mean the difference between smooth boarding or public humiliation at the gate, between making your flight or watching it leave without you while you're trapped at the ticket counter, paying hundreds in unexpected fees. Last Tuesday at Chicago O'Hare International Airport, Mrs. Helen Richardson, age 72, a retired school principal flying to Seattle for her grandson's college graduation, the bag she'd used for 15 years without a single problem. Trusted companion on dozens of trips, gets stopped at the gate by a young airline attendant who says, "Ma'am, your bag doesn't meet the new 2026 size requirements." And Helen laughs nervously, saying, "I've used this bag everywhere. It's always been fine." But the attendant isn't smiling, just pointing to a digital scanner showing red measurements, saying, "It's 2 inches over the new limit. You'll need to check it at the gate. That's $75. Helen's heart sinks because her medications are in that bag. Her nice outfit for the ceremony is in that bag. Her grandson's gift is in that bag. And now she's standing there while everyone behind her is sighing and checking watches. The attendant is tagging her bag with a bright pink gate check sticker, and Helen is fumbling with her wallet trying to find her credit card, while tears are forming because she can hear people whispering, "Why didn't she check the rules?" and "holding up the whole line." And by the time she finally boards, overhead bins are completely full. Her seat neighbor gives her an annoyed look, and she spends the entire 5-hour flight worrying if her bag will even arrive. Which it doesn't. It gets routed to Portland by mistake, and she shows up to her grandson's graduation ceremony wearing the same travel clothes from yesterday. No makeup because her toiletries are lost. No gift to give him. Just exhaustion and embarrassment. This is not a rare incident. This is not bad luck. This is the new reality of air travel in 2026. Airlines worldwide are implementing 7 major carry-on rule changes that most travelers, especially seniors, have absolutely no idea are coming. And these aren't minor adjustments. These are complete overhauls of size limits, weight restrictions, battery rules. Everything is changing. And if you don't know these rules before you get to the airport, you will pay the price in money, in dignity, in missed moments you can never get back. I've been a flight attendant for 15 years. I've seen these rule changes destroy travel plans for hundreds of passengers. And today, I'm walking you through every single new regulation, so you never end up like Helen, so you never miss your daughter's wedding because your bag was 2 inches too big, so you never lose your medications because you didn't know about the new weight limits, so pay attention to every single word because your next trip depends on it. The first new rule is the standardized carry-on size measurement, and this is catching almost everyone completely off guard. After years of every airline having different rules, some allowing 22 inches, others 24, complete chaos at gates, 2026 is bringing one global standard that every airline must follow. 22 inches by 14 inches by 9 inches. That's 56 by 36 by 23 centimeters for those using metric. And finally, there's consistency. Except, here's the part that's destroying travelers. That measurement now includes absolutely everything. The extended handle, the wheels, the bulging side pockets. If any part of your bag sticks out even slightly, it counts toward the total measurement. The "it'll squeeze into the overhead bin if I push hard enough" strategy is completely dead, and here's the devastating statistic. Over 60% of popular carry-on bags currently being sold don't meet this new standard. That bag you bought 3 years ago thinking it was carry-on sized, it probably fails the 2026 test, and you won't discover this until you're standing at the gate with a line of impatient travelers behind you while a digital scanner displays your bag in bright red on a screen everyone can see. Yes, digital scanners, airlines are replacing those old metal sizing frames with sensor-equipped frames that detect even millimeter violations. Some airports are testing automated bag scanners right at the boarding line that instantly flag oversized luggage before you even reach the gate agent. Imagine your bag glowing red on a monitor while 50 people behind you watch and wonder what you did wrong. 3 weeks ago at Denver International Airport, Mr. Robert Chen, age 68, a retired engineer flying to San Diego for his 50th wedding anniversary celebration with his wife, brings his trusted Samsonite roller bag he's used for a decade, gets to the gate feeling confident. The new scanner beeps red immediately. Gate agent measures and says, "Sir, with the wheels and handle extended, you're at 23 inches, that's 1 inch over." And Robert argues politely saying, "But I've used this bag on 30 flights. It's always fit." But the agent just shakes her head saying, "New rules, sir, $75 gate check fee or you can't board." Robert's wife is already seated on the plane. Their anniversary dinner reservation is in 4 hours. They planned this trip for months, and now Robert is standing there holding up the entire boarding process, while the agent is processing his credit card. Other passengers are literally groaning out loud. Someone behind him says loudly, "Come on, man, just pay it." And Robert feels his face burning with embarrassment, pays the fee, watches his bag disappear down the jet bridge, and spends the entire flight worrying about whether his wife's anniversary gift, a custom-made photo album he worked on for months, will survive the rough handling of checked baggage. Which it doesn't. The corner gets crushed, pages get bent. The gift he planned to present at dinner is ruined, and his wife tries to smile, but he can see the disappointment in her eyes. The fix is urgent and simple. Measure your bag right this second, grab a tape measure and include everything: the wheels, the handles fully extended, any bulging pockets, and if you're even half an inch over, you need to decide now. Either buy a new compliant bag before your trip, or accept that you'll be paying gate check fees every single time you fly, and those fees range from $35 to $120 depending on the airline and route. It adds up devastatingly fast. Look for luggage specifically labeled 2026 carry-on compliant, or guaranteed cabin approved. Many brands are releasing updated designs right now, and you don't need to spend $300. Compliance matters infinitely more than brand names, because the most expensive luggage is the one you're forced to check at the gate while everyone watches. The second new rule is weight restrictions getting brutally enforced, and if you thought the size limits were harsh, prepare yourself, because 2026 is the year airlines stop pretending weight limits are suggestions. Most airlines are setting the maximum between 8 and 10 kilograms. That's roughly 17 to 22 pounds. Sounds reasonable until you actually weigh a packed bag and realize your laptop alone is 5 pounds. A pair of walking shoes is 2 pounds. Your toiletry kit is 3 pounds. And suddenly you're already at the limit before adding any clothes. Here's what's making this dangerous. Airlines aren't trusting passengers anymore. They're installing built-in scales at self-check-in kiosks and bag drop counters that automatically weigh your carry-on the moment you place it down. If it's over the limit, the system flags you instantly before you even get your boarding pass. Some carriers are going even further, placing weigh-in stations right at the gate. Picture this: you've cleared security, bought your coffee, you're waiting to board feeling relieved. Then your name gets called over the speaker, and you're told to bring your bag to the scale in front of everyone. If it's overweight, you have 3 humiliating choices: repack on the spot with everyone watching while you decide what clothes to throw away, pay a surprise overweight fee that can reach $80, or hand it over to be gate checked, which means you lose access to everything inside for the entire flight: your medications, your entertainment, your snacks, everything gone. Last month at Atlanta Hartsfield-Jackson, Mrs. Dorothy Hamilton, age 74, a widow flying to Boston to spend Thanksgiving with her daughter's family, first time seeing her great-grandchildren in 2 years because of health issues, packs her carry-on carefully with gifts for each grandchild, homemade cookies she baked the night before, her special cranberry sauce recipe her daughter requested, gets to the gate early feeling proud of herself for being so organized. Boarding begins, and the gate agent announces, "We're checking bag weights today. Please place your carry-on on the scale when your group is called." Dorothy's group gets called. She lifts her bag onto the scale. It reads 12.3 kilograms. Agent says, "Ma'am, you're 2.3 kilos over the limit. That's a $60 overweight fee, or you need to remove items now." And Dorothy is completely shocked, saying, "But I packed so carefully." And the agent just points to the scale, saying, "The number doesn't lie." Dorothy is now standing at the front of the line with 50 people behind her watching as she unzips her bag and starts pulling out wrapped gifts, trying to decide what to leave behind. The cookies she spent 3 hours baking get left on the counter. One grandchild's gift gets left behind. She's crying quietly while repacking. Her hands are shaking. Someone behind her mutters, "Ridiculous." But she doesn't know if they mean her or the airline. She finally gets her bag under the weight limit and boards the plane completely humiliated, arrives in Boston without the gifts she promised, has to explain to disappointed grandchildren why Grandma didn't bring what she said she would, and the entire Thanksgiving feels tainted by that moment of public shame at the gate. The solution costs $10 and saves you hundreds in fees and infinite embarrassment. Buy a small luggage scale, the kind that hooks onto your bag handle. Weigh your bag at home before you leave. If you're close to the limit, wear your heaviest items instead of packing them. Put on your walking shoes, wear your jacket, wear your jeans, shift weight off the bag and onto your body. Frequent travelers follow this iron rule religiously. If you won't use something at least 3 times during the trip, don't pack it. Efficient packing isn't about bringing everything you might possibly need. It's about traveling light and smart and ready, because in 2026, the lighter your bag, the smoother your entire journey becomes. The third new rule is personal item regulations getting dramatically tighter, and this catches travelers completely off guard because most people don't even think about their second bag, your purse, your laptop case, your small backpack. This must now fit completely under the seat in front of you. No half squeezing, no corners sticking out. The official new limit is 18 inches by 14 inches by 8 inches. That's 45 by 35 by 20 centimeters. Why the sudden crackdown? Because too many passengers were bringing what were essentially 2 full carry-ons and calling the second one a personal item. Airlines noticed and said enough. And in 2026, they're enforcing this ruthlessly. Here's what makes this particularly tricky for seniors. Underseat space isn't consistent across different aircraft. On regional jets, it's tiny, barely enough for a laptop bag. On wide-body international flights, you might get more room, but the new rule doesn't care what plane you're on. If your bag doesn't fit completely under the seat, it gets checked. No exceptions, no sympathy. 2 weeks ago at Phoenix Sky Harbor, Mr. James Patterson, age 71, retired accountant flying to Nashville for his daughter's wedding, where he's walking her down the aisle, brings his usual carry-on, plus his laptop bag that's slightly larger than he remembers. Gets on the plane, a regional jet with tight seating, tries to shove his laptop bag under the seat in front of him, but it won't fit. The flight attendant notices and says, "Sir, that bag is too large for underseat storage. It needs to go in the overhead bin." But the overhead bins are completely full because he boarded in the last group. The flight attendant says, "We'll need to gate check it." And James panics because his daughter's wedding gift is in that bag, a custom-engraved watch he spent months choosing. His speech notes are in that bag. His nice tie and pocket square are in that bag. Everything he needs for the ceremony is in there. He tries to explain, but the flight attendant is already tagging the bag. It disappears down the jet bridge. The plane takes off, and James spends the entire 2-hour flight in complete anxiety. The plane lands in Nashville. He waits at baggage claim. His bag doesn't appear. It got sent to Memphis by mistake, won't arrive until tomorrow afternoon. The wedding is tomorrow morning. He has to rush to a department store and buy a replacement watch that isn't nearly as nice. His speech notes are gone, so he has to improvise from memory. He walks his daughter down the aisle wearing a tie that doesn't match his suit, and every time he looks at the wedding photos later, all he can remember is that moment of panic on the plane when his bag was taken away. The smart solution is simple. Go soft-sided. Rigid personal items are gambling with space. Flexible bags can compress to fit almost anywhere. Look for bags with smart compartments that organize essentials without bulging out like balloons. And here's a strategy most seniors never consider. Keep your absolute irreplaceable items in your personal bag, not your carry-on. Medications, travel documents, expensive electronics, anything you cannot afford to lose. Because if overhead bins fill up and your carry-on gets gate-checked, your personal item stays with you always. The fourth new rule is the liquid rules evolution. And finally, there's some potentially good news here. The notorious 311 liquid rule that's frustrated travelers for nearly 20 years is starting to fade away, but not everywhere, and definitely not all at once. So you need to understand exactly what's happening. Thanks to new CT scanning technology, some airports are now allowing full-size liquids in carry-on bags. No more tiny bottles, no more flimsy plastic bags. Sounds amazing, except the rollout is painfully inconsistent. Big international hubs like Atlanta, Dallas, Denver are using upgraded scanners, but smaller regional airports are years behind. This means you could fly out of one airport that allows full-size liquids, pack accordingly, then connect through another airport that still enforces the old rules, and suddenly your favorite lotion or expensive perfume ends up in the trash. This is happening constantly to travelers who don't research their specific route. Last month at Tampa International Airport, Mrs. Barbara Stevens, age 69, flying to visit her sister in Seattle, who's recovering from surgery, packs full-size bottles of her sister's favorite body lotion and shampoo as a comfort gift. Tampa's new scanners allow it, so she sails through security there. But her connection is through Charlotte, which still uses old scanners. At the Charlotte security checkpoint, a TSA agent pulls her bag aside, finds the full-size bottles, says, "Ma'am, these exceed the 3.4-ounce limit," and Barbara tries to explain, "But Tampa let me through with these," and the agent just shakes her head saying, "Different airports, different equipment, these can't go through." Barbara has to make a choice in seconds: throw away $40 worth of products she bought specifically for her sister, or miss her connection trying to check her bag. She chooses to throw them away, arrives in Seattle empty-handed, has to explain to her sister why she didn't bring the gifts she promised, and her sister tries to say it's fine. But Barbara can see the disappointment, and what should have been a comforting visit starts with failure. The 2026 Traveler's Golden Rule for liquids is pack defensively. Keep your liquids in a clear, accessible pouch near the top of your bag. If your departure airport uses new scanners, great, you'll breeze through. If not, you can pull the pouch out in seconds without unpacking everything. And here's what frequent flyers swear by: switch to solid alternatives, solid deodorant, shampoo bars, solid perfume. None of these count toward liquid limits, and they save endless repacking nightmares. Before every trip, check your specific airport's website for scanner status. Most major airports now list whether they support full-size liquids. The difference between a smooth morning and a TSA meltdown is one website click. Because in 2026, the smartest traveler isn't the one who packs light. It's the one who packs strategically for their specific route. The fifth new rule is electronics and battery restrictions getting corrected, and this is where 2026 quietly punishes the unprepared. Your electronics and power banks are under intense scrutiny. Security isn't just checking what you carry, but whether your devices actually work. If a phone, tablet, or laptop cannot power on when an officer requests, it's treated as suspicious and it doesn't go through. Dead battery means no boarding for that device. Power banks are even more dangerous territory. The only number that matters is watt-hours. Under 100 watt-hours, you're fine. Between 100 and 160 watt-hours, you need airline approval before flying. Over 160 watt-hours, that battery is completely banned from passenger aircraft. Most travelers have never checked that label, never done the math. They find out at the checkpoint when it's too late. Smart travelers adapt immediately. They charge absolutely everything the night before travel. They keep power banks and cables near the top of their bag, ready to show instantly. They take quick photos of each device's battery specifications. So if questioned, they have proof in seconds instead of arguing. And they never travel with a device that's below 50% charge. The sixth new rule is smart luggage requirements becoming mandatory. If you own one of those sleek smart suitcases with built-in chargers or GPS tracking, pay very close attention because in 2026 they're restricted. Unless they meet one critical condition, the battery must be removable. This isn't a suggestion. It's federal aviation law. Airlines have had growing problems with lithium-ion batteries catching fire mid-flight. Several high-profile incidents in recent years. Small fires, smoke, even emergency landings, all traced back to smart luggage that couldn't be powered down. So the new standard is brutally simple. If the battery cannot be removed, the bag cannot come aboard. The solution is, check your smart luggage right now. Find the battery compartment, see if it detaches with a simple press or slide mechanism. If it's welded inside, you have two choices: buy a new compliant bag, or accept that you'll be checking it every single flight. Manufacturers now label bags clearly as TSA, Approved Removable Battery System. Look for that exact language. The seventh and final new rule is overhead bin space competition becoming warfare. And this is the battle every passenger faces now. Airlines are squeezing in more seats, cutting turnaround times, packing flights to absolute capacity. The result is fewer open bins, more angry passengers, and a growing list of priority boarding upsells that quietly force economy travelers to pay extra just to secure overhead space. Basic economy tickets now board last, which means your bag often won't make it into the cabin. You arrive early, pass security, buy coffee, think you're safe, then boarding begins, and you watch helplessly as bins fill up row by row. By the time your group gets called, there's no space left. A flight attendant tags your bag for gate check. Your carefully packed carry-on disappears, maybe arriving dented, maybe arriving late, maybe not arriving at all. Here's the complete truth. These 2026 carry-on rules aren't minor updates. They're a total transformation of air travel, size, weight, liquids, batteries. Every detail now determines whether you breeze through or get stopped cold. Ignore them and you'll lose time, money, dignity. But smart travelers stay ahead. Measure your luggage today, not at the gate. Weigh it before leaving home. Charge all electronics. Organize liquids. Keep power bank specs accessible. Verify your smart luggage battery is removable. And always check your specific airline's current policies before every single trip, because rules are changing constantly. Airports are evolving with scanners, sensors, automation. Confusion will only increase. But while other passengers panic, you'll already know exactly what's coming. You'll glide through security while others are detained. You'll board smoothly while others are crying at the counter. You'll arrive with everything you need while others are filing lost baggage claims. If this information helped you prepare for 2026, hit that like button right now so other seniors see this warning, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because next week I'm covering the new TSA liquid medication rules that are causing prescription confiscations at security. You need to know these before your next trip. Keep your travel smooth, your dignity intact, and your memories safe. I'll see you in the skies. Safe travels, everyone. This is Stella.